ambitious to start with. But we've gone through this through a fairly rigorous process. The way we started this was in 2010, we invited the authors of that survey, the World Economic Forum, to Nigeria to tell us exactly what we were doing wrong, what other countries did to improve their ranking, and what we could do better or differently to improve our ranking. They came up with a number of recommendations which we are now implementing. So part of it is to have an interministerial group monitoring the competitiveness ranking, the 12 pillars there, and taking specific actions to improve them. Some of the areas will be difficult, like when you talk about infrastructure, power, because those things will not happen overnight. They will take time. So in terms of addressing it, we've had to be tactical, we've had to be strategic also in how we approach it. Another area which they recommended is also strengthening the one-stop shop which we have under NIPC. And luckily we have the support of the President. He's been extremely supportive. Now we have all the ministries, 26 agencies or ministries are actually housed in one location to make registration of different companies easier and quicker. At the moment it's 48 hours, we want to go to 24 hours. That was a single thing Rwanda did to move up the rankings by about 65 points in 1 year because of their heavy focus on that. So we could do that, the same thing. One of the things which World Economic Forum also recommended is having a private sector-led competitiveness council. So that because certain things have to be done by the private sector and some things by the public sector. And we're in the process of setting that up. We've made a recommendation for that to happen as well. But more importantly, in our team, in terms of the investment climate reform, we're working with the World Bank, with DFID, and we're talking to the World Economic Forum to guide us and support us. So if we do the things we're supposed to do, even if we don't achieve the 34, we would have moved up to where we want to be. One thing you have to bear in mind is that as we are making efforts to improve our ranking, other countries are making the same effort. So we cannot judge what they will do, where they will be. And that's what makes the target difficult. However, we must have a target that we want to work towards. And the idea is to work towards that.
Can you just share with us when this policy document would be ready, even if it's a draft?
Okay. There are two policy documents we've worked on. One is about the trade policy. It's the first time in 10 years that we're reviewing that policy. We had a committee look at it. They have submitted their draft. The next step is to go through the policies with a national focal point on trade matters, which will involve the state governments as well. And the idea is to go through it before I take it to the Federal Executive Council. So I'm hoping that within the next 2 months, we should have a good modern trade policy, the first since the last 10 years. The first time we're doing something like this for about 10 years. On the industrial one, it's new completely because we're going to be looking at different sectors and based on competitive advantage. The committee, which is also made up of representatives of the different sectors I've talked about, trade associations, manufacturers associations, relevant ministries, they are due to submit their report to me within the next month or two, because they've actually done part of that as part of the trade policy. The chairman of the industry section, or manufacturing section of the trade policy is actually the chairman of this committee looking at the industrial policy. Again, once that is done, because we must approach this in a holistic manner, I would want to do a presentation, discuss it with the state governments, first of all, make sure they buy into it and they have their own input as well before taking it to the Federal Executive Council.
So sometime this year, perhaps?
Sorry?
Sometime this year, perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt it has to be this year. Right. I'm thinking in terms of months, say, 2, 3, let's say 2 to 4 months.